All right, last one, very on this page, very similar picture. We have a right triangle here. Oh, and it's 75 degrees. I'm trying to find the distance from O to D. O to B is 25. Looks a lot like this one. And I have a degree measure, so this smells like SOHCAHTOA. This whole thing is 25. That's 75, and I care about this. I'm going to call it R. Relative to 75, this is hypotenuse, this is adjacent, so we're talking about cosine. The cosine of 75 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So what I want here is 25 times the cosine of 75, which is 6.47. So it's not exactly like the last one, 6.47. Okay. Just draw it here because I don't have much room on that little tiny blank. Okay. Great. Almost done here. They tell you Fi is 67. Don't forget about these little things in the directions because it's not on here. Fi, this arc is 67. They don't tell you this is this is 67. Oh, that's at the center. And this is at the center too, so it's also going to be 67 here. These are diameters. Yeah, so it was something I was going to complain that they didn't tell you, but they don't have to. This is 67. This has to be the rest of the semicircle here. So this is 113. This is also 113. I mean, you could mark those angles in here too. It's the same reason. Angles on a line are supplementary. Arcs on the semicircle are supplementary. Can we go in for? Oh yeah, these are right angles because this is on a diameter, and we have diameters this way too. So we have to have a rectangle here. That's what I was going to complain that they didn't tell you, but they didn't have to. There's nothing else I can. Oh yeah, I guess I can fill in some more things. If this is 113, this arc is intercepted by this angle here. So this is half of 113. So this is 56 and a half, and I could get that all the way around the rectangle, right? All the larger obtuse or acute angles are going to be 56 and a half. I know all this. This is kind of fun. Because these all intercept the 113s. And then the other angle, not only are they complementary, but they're half of the 67. So this is always 33.5. There's a lot of tiny writing. All right, 33.5 everywhere. If I really cared. Now, yeah, I challenge you to ask me a question I haven't already answered now. All right. Arc FG. Done. Arc GH. Done. Arc HI. Well, didn't he tell? No, that's not what they told me. That one's, yeah, I already had that. Angle FGI. Done. Angle IFH. Done. This is if I can actually read all the little tiny letters correctly in that picture, which I think I can. All right, FG and EH are diameters of, okay, great, that's 38. This arc is 38. This angle's 38. So this arc's 38. I got diameters, so this is 142. This big one over here is 142. Oh, this is 90. And since the whole thing is 142, I know this little one in here is 52. Man, that's hard to write that small. Okay. So I probably have all these done too, actually. I've got all the arcs on the circle. That feels really good. And you know what? You might want to check this and go, oh yeah, those all add up to 360. So that would be nice to check. Oh, and these two, the 52 and the 38, those add up to 90 here, which is good. The 142 and 38, that makes 180 this way on this diameter. Okay. Arc EF, probably have that. Yep. FG, got it. DFG. That's from here all the way around. That's 90 plus 142, or it's 52 plus 180. You can think of that different ways, or it's 52 plus 38 plus 142. I get 232 in my head on that one. DE, 52. D to H to G. Why would they say D to H to G? That's a bad way to label that. Bad test question. It should just be DG. That's 128. Yeah. It's the 90 plus the 38. and D to G to E, D to G to E. That's the whole circle except 52, which is 308, I believe. Okay. And last panel here. All right, so I got a bunch of stuff labeled there. It means this arc is 60. I don't even know if this labeled the angle of the arc, but it's the same thing. There's a diameter here. I'm not going to put these markings on here because it's always, it's the same picture. I'm going to have to redo stuff. So, well, I guess I could put some angles in here. This is 90, then I know this little angle right here, arc or angle. This is 60, this is 90. The whole thing from R to T is 180, so this has to be 30. If this is 20, this one's got to be 160. That might be helpful. That's all the arcs measured. So that's nice. Okay, so find the length of the arc, QPT. QPT is how many degrees here? QPT, that should just be QT, you guys. I think I took this from an old book where they thought that was okay to do that, and it's really not. All right, so this is 120 degrees. That's not my answer. That's just the measure of that arc. QZ is a radius. Radius is 10, and the arc measures 120. All right, we're going to use this all over the place. This formula is going to come back over and over again, and it's not on the sheet. It's measure of the angle or measure of the arc out of 360 times circumference. All right, so this is going to be 120 out of 360. Oh, it's too small. Times circumference, and if the radius is 10, circumference is 20 pi, and that equals 1/3 of 20 pi. That equals 1/3 of 20 pi. Okay. Same thing here. QR is 60 degrees. PZ is 12. That's the radius. So I do degrees out of 360 times circumference. So if the radius is 12, the circumference is 24 pi. You should be at the point where you're basically able to do that in your head now, because circumference equals pi d. Yeah, and that's a really fast way to do that. All right. So that's 1/6 of, I'm going to do this in my head, but you can do it on the calculator. 1/6 of 24 pi, that's 4 pi. PQR, they should really just call that PR. PR is how many degrees? It's 150 degrees. And TR, is that a radius? Nope, that's a diameter. So be careful on that. So I have 150 degrees of the circle. I have that fraction of the circumference. The circumference here is 15 pi because 15 is the diameter. Okay, I have a weird fraction now. 150 out of 360. I will do that this way. 150 out of 360. That's this fraction times, whoops, not number sign, not hashtag, times 15. I have 25/4 of pi here. I simplified everything but the pi, so I have 25/4 pi. Perfectly nice way to write that. QPS, shame on them, should be QS, and that's 110, it looks like. And this 7QZ is a radius. Okay, so I have this much circle. I have this much of the circle. The circle's 14 pi. Whoops, I said 14. 14 pi, so that's not a squiggly equal, that's an actual equal. 110 over 360 times 14. Ew. 110 over 360 times 14 is a yucky fraction. 77/18. Oh, that's just delicious, isn't it? All right. 77 over 18 pi. Great. I don't think there's anything on this worksheet, but there were problems on the quiz where they gave you this first. They gave you the arc length, and you had to find radius, or you had to find degrees, or you had to, something else missing over here. It's the same equation. It's just the algebra is different. So look at the quiz to find those. There's also some in the book. Okay, given circle A with all this stuff. Those are tangents, that's lovely. GC is 47, that's this little arc right here. And ACE is 90. Where's C? Okay, well, yeah, of course, because it's a tangent. Of course, it's 90. Thank you very much. ADE is 90. Ooh, ADE is, well, yes, of course, because it's tangent. Well, they didn't have to say that if they're going to say this. Tangent implies the 90. And GDE is 45. Okay, maybe that's helpful. Yeah, this is 45. Well, if this is 45, again, I'm just going to start filling in stuff I know. If that angle's 45, then I know this arc, DG, is 90. Yeah, this arc is 47. So if I was going to draw an angle here, ECG, that angle wouldn't be half of 47. It would be 23 and a half or something. So that's great. So if this is 90, this has to be 90 because we have a semicircle FG. If this is 47, this is the rest of that to make 180. So I have 180 over here. I don't know if there's anything else I can fill in right away, but we'll look. FD, oh, notice there's some things we crossed out here because these were questions we could ask last year when we did way more properties on circles. Anyway, we can only do this many now. FD, did I figure this out already? Yeah, I did. It's 90. FC, did I figure out already? FC, I think I did. That's the 133, if that's really what point C is. It's hard to read some of these. FGD, F to G to D. Oh, I didn't do that one. This is 90. This intercepts the 90. So it has to be, it's on the circle, so it's half. Okay, I believe that's the end of this review packet. Enjoy your 4-day weekend, what's left of it, and good luck on the test.